Hi there, that's right. Guess who? Great and glorious, soon to be famous one day, Nick Dutch. Back on the camera yet again for another delightful tarot reading. Now we've got a very interesting YouTube inquirer today. The YouTube account name is The Pamper Room. And this particular character is interested not in her husband, but in her husband's ex-wife. Because there's some complex interactions going on there. So we'll just have a quick look and see what the reading says about that. Still using a good old-fashioned Book of Thoth Tarot. It's rather dogged, I know, but on the other hand, it is, the working tarot deck which I use when I'm working professionally. So we'll see what kind of thoughts, feelings, moods, and energies do appear for you today. Let's just have a quick peek. Now, I'll do this as if it was a relationship reading, because it still deals with social interaction between yourself and the other individual. And we'll take it from there, basically. Just a second. Okay, very interesting set of energies associated with this. Let's see what the reading says. Right, okay. As I said before, this is the style of the traditional relationship reading. 2 for yourself, 2 for the other individual, something going on between the two of you. And this is where it's already looking quite interesting. From the nature of your question, and from the signs we've got coming out in the reading, it appears that there is some, I'm tempted to say false friendship, but I think that's going a bit too far. I would say that there is some positive emotions this individual is giving you, which are deliberately placed just to try and keep the atmosphere positive, but there's a sense of this individual trying to do something for their own benefit, not for yourself. This is an individual who likes to get very heavily involved within a community and likes to begin projects. Okay, this is an individual who wants to see themselves as being important and wants to be recognized as being important by other people. So purely upon that count, it's rather difficult. On your side of things, you want stability and you want happiness, and you don't want to have to think about complex situations like this one. So we've got a difference in political attitude between her side of things and your side of things, and there's a sense of there being some false friendship happening between the two of you as well, which you've got to maintain. I feel that at this stage, this part of the reading is essentially saying that things are the way they are and you just have to accept that for the moment. Future progression, I would say, doesn't look too bad. I don't think there's anything there that you would not expect. I don't feel she's trying to be too detrimental, but she's going to be a bit catty to put you off guard. And that's generally what we've got there. It's not a serious situation. Alright, now that was that part of the reading. Now, the other question was about the personal development and career side of things. So, let's have a quick look and see what's happening there. Bear with me a second. Alright, there's no major signs here of dramatic success. I mean, there's signs relating to hard work and discipline and dedication. There's a sense of knowing when to be cautious. There's a sense of there being some happiness and satisfaction there. The development of your career within the next 12 months does not seem to be too dramatic. It appears to me that you want to put in some hard work to try and create some change which is positive for yourself, for your longer term earning potential. That's good, that should be encouraged. Nothing abnormal, different, strange, or strained about that. The here and now is very much dominated by a sense of trying to maintain a certain level of peace, satisfaction, and happiness, and trying to do so in a way which is politically cautious. You aren't able to, at this present point in time, according to the reading, like in the here and now, able to really enforce yourself upon the rest of the world. That time comes later on. Possibly stimulated, extra hard work will be stimulated by somebody else's interference, which will make you want to take more action and try and bring about that level of success and achievement that you are hoping for. Is there a feeling that you will get there? Well, we've got plenty of signs of power and control and you being in control later on. So the best time for your career, I would say, would be in the spring of the year 2011. But we're talking between February and May, I feel. So your career is improving. But this is a time of being careful, make sure you don't rock the boat too much, and try and create the longer term future that you want. Okay, now that's that part of the reading, but there was also an allusion there towards some form of spirituality or interest in spiritual things. Let's see what kind of changes are happening on that side of things. Bear with me a second, please. there's a bit of a sense of strain of desire, starting with the Lust card, the main Major Arcana card which we've got in this particular reading, on the left hand side, just there. Signs relating to power, desire, a sense of craving or desiring massive change which is in your favour, which is of course good. You know, we all need to be driven. I think that's important. But I think you also need to make sure that you are driven in the right way and you're getting the right measured attitude towards your own spiritual growth. The sense I've got here is about trying to bring about satisfaction, but where are your standards of what you consider to be satisfactory? These are things you've got to take into account. But the fact we've got some successful signs towards the end of the reading suggests you are moving in the right direction. It's just a question of whether you're going down the right path in order to get there. And maybe you need to create some variety of variability to bring about what you need. Things are coming down later on. It looks like in the autumn of this year, in the fall of this year, you're going to develop a new perspective or a new paradigm as to how your development can and should occur. So this will be from inspiration from different sources, times of contemplation. But there are some spiritual gifts you will be getting, as is self-evident in the signs of success later on down the line. Okay, now we've covered a fair few messages there. As far as your relationship, so to speak, with your partner's ex, I would say tread carefully, but still be the individual you need to be to bring about the results that you're after. You still have to make sure your needs are met. You don't have to bend like a reed all the time. There's a time to be the rigid oak which does not bend in the wind, and there's times to be that reed which does bend in the wind. You need to think about whether it's right under some circumstances to be more authoritarian or right under some circumstances to be more flexible. It will always be difficult getting it right, but remember, she is a political person. She is someone who wants to create upset for her own benefits, and as a result of that, you just need to take that into account and maybe apply some acceptance towards her, because she's not necessarily going to be the kind of person who is open to too much in the way of doing things the way you would like. As far as your career is concerned, there are no signs of real problems, and there are signs of progress, but there's also a sense that you've got to measure your own expectations as to how much development you can get in the short term. On the spiritual side of things, carry on doing what you're doing, but also be open to other forms of action or interpretation or other paths you may wish to go down, so that you can get the results that you're after. Alright, and also work out what results you want and the kind of reliable results you're after. Okay? As is usual, all requests by private message, not in the comment section, but do feel free to comment on the video. Rate, subscribe, do what else you want to do, and basically have fun. Plenty more tarot reading videos coming up, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon sometime. Great and glorious, soon to be famous one day, if I'm either very lucky and or unlucky. Nick Dutch signing out for now.